Mara stood by the window of their small home on the colony planet, looking out at the rising sun over the distant mountains. The air was thick with the scent of alien flora, a mix of sweet and earthy tones that reminded her of the first day they had arrived. But today, Mara's mind was not on the beauty outside. Her thoughts were on her daughter, Lila, lying in her bed across the room. Lila had been paralyzed for nearly 3 years. An accident during a colony exploration had left her unable to walk. At first, doctors had hoped she would recover, but as months turned into years, the chances seemed to shrink. Still, Mara refused to give up. She had spent countless hours researching, talking to doctors, and learning everything she could about both human and alien medicine. Every morning, Mara would wake before the sun. Preparing Lila's therapy session, the little girl would wake with sleepy eyes and a nervous smile, afraid that today would be another day of failure. But Mara always greeted her warmly. "Today is the day we try again, Lila," she would say. "I believe in you." The therapy room was a mix of human and alien technology. There were soft mats, support harnesses, and alien devices that emitted a faint hum when turned on. Mara had managed to gain access to some of the alien medical tools after befriending the scientists from the nearby alien outpost. They were cautious at first, watching her, testing her knowledge, but slowly they came to trust her dedication. Lila's small fingers clutched the edge of her bed as Mara helped her sit up. "Ready, sweetie?" Mara asked. Lila nodded, though her eyes showed fear. She had tried standing many times, only to fall or feel her legs give way. But Mara never let her show defeat. Every attempt, no matter how small, was celebrated. "Let's start with stretching," Mara said, guiding Lila's legs slowly. She whispered encouragements, counting each movement aloud. 1, 2, 3. Lila's legs moved slightly. It was just a twitch, barely noticeable, but Mara's heart soared. Every small motion was a victory. After stretching, Mara set up the support harness. The alien devices would help stimulate Lila's muscles. There was a soft blue light that wrapped around her legs, sending gentle pulses that encouraged movement. Lila flinched slightly at first. The sensation was strange, but Mara held her hand. "You can do this," Mara said softly. "I'm right here." Minutes passed. Lila's legs twitched, then moved a little more. The room was quiet except for the soft hum of the alien device and Mara's calm voice. Slowly, Lila's eyes brightened. A small smile appeared. "Mom, I think I moved." Mara's eyes filled with tears, but she blinked them back. "Yes, sweetie, that's amazing." She hugged Lila gently. "You're doing it. Every day, you're getting stronger." After the therapy session, Mara prepared breakfast. The small kitchen smelled of fresh bread and fruit. Lila sat in her chair, still tired but smiling. "Mom," she said softly, "do you think I'll ever walk again?" Mara looked into her daughter's eyes, feeling the weight of the question. "I don't know exactly when, Lila," she said honestly. "But I do know this. You have the strength to do it. I've seen it every day. And I will be here, helping you every step of the way." After breakfast, Mara cleaned up and prepared for her next task. She had made a habit of visiting the alien outpost. Queen Zarya, the ruler of the alien court, was a figure of authority and elegance, her presence commanding respect. The Queen's scientists had advanced knowledge that Mara could not find anywhere else. Mara often shared her observations about Lila, and in return they offered advice on therapy techniques, some based on alien technology and some on human methods. Mara entered the alien outpost cautiously, bowing slightly as she passed the guards. Inside, the corridors glowed softly with a light that seemed to come from the walls themselves. The air was cooler here, and the scent was different from the colony. Clean, metallic, and faintly floral. She met Dr. Talon, one of the alien scientists who had been assigned to observe her progress. "Mara," he said in his smooth voice, "how is Lila today?" "She moved her legs a little during therapy," Mara replied, her eyes lighting up. "Just a twitch, but it's progress." Dr. Talon tilted his head, a sign of curiosity among his people. "Good. That is promising. Perhaps we can combine this with a new approach using our balance stimulation device. It may help her take the next step." Mara nodded eagerly. "Anything that can help. I want to see her walk." Dr. Talon smiled faintly. "You have a strong will. Humans are unusual. You refuse to give up, even in difficult times." Mara felt a warmth in her chest. Humans were not the strongest species in terms of technology or physical abilities, but their persistence, their courage, and their love could surpass many challenges. She had always believed this, and Lila's struggle was proof. Back at home, Mara spent the afternoon preparing the new therapy device suggested by Dr. Talon. She carefully adjusted it, making sure it was safe and comfortable for Lila. The device was sleek, with soft supports for the legs and small sensors to measure movement. It looked strange to human eyes, but it felt like hope. When Lila returned from her morning rest, Mara helped her into the device. "This is something new," Mara said. "It might feel a little strange, but it will help you." Lila looked at her mother, her eyes wide but trusting. "Okay," she said softly. As the device powered on, a soft hum filled the room. Lila's legs twitched almost immediately. Mara held her hand tightly. "Good, good. That's it, sweetie. Keep trying." Time passed slowly, but Mara never let her daughter's spirits drop. Every twitch, every movement was a victory. Lila's small movements became slightly larger. Her confidence grew with every second, and Mara's heart swelled with hope. Later that evening, Mara prepared a report to send to Dr. Talon. She carefully recorded Lila's progress, the new device's effects, and her own observations. She wanted the scientists to understand everything, hoping that together they could unlock the secret to Lila's recovery. As she finished, Mara looked at her daughter, now resting peacefully in bed. Lila's breathing was steady, and a small smile lingered on her lips. Mara knelt by her side, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Tomorrow, we try again," she whispered. "I know you can do it, my brave girl." Outside, the alien city lights began to glow as the twin moons rose into the sky. Mara felt a sense of quiet determination. She knew the journey would not be easy. Lila's path to walking would be long and full of challenges. But Mara also knew something else. Human spirit, combined with courage, love, and a willingness to learn, could achieve things even advanced civilizations might not expect. Somewhere in the alien palace, Queen Zarya observed Mara's colony through a distant communication network. The queen was known for her composure, her authority, and her careful judgment. Yet she found herself intrigued by Mara's persistence. There was something extraordinary about a human who would never give up, even when the odds were stacked against her. As Mara left the window, looking at her sleeping daughter, she whispered a promise. "I will not stop until you walk, Lila. I swear it." And in that quiet room, on a distant planet filled with alien wonders and human hope, the first sparks of something incredible began to shine. Lila's journey was far from over, but with her mother's love and determination, the impossible seemed closer than ever. The night was calm, but in Mara's heart, a storm of hope, courage, and determination had already begun. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but also new possibilities. And for the first time in years, Mara felt a deep, unwavering belief that her daughter's first steps were not just a dream, they were within reach. The next morning, Mara woke early as usual. The soft light of the twin suns filtered through the curtains, casting warm patterns on the floor. She quietly tiptoed to Lila's room, careful not to wake her daughter too abruptly. Lila had slept better than usual, and Mara felt a spark of hope. Perhaps today would be a day of progress. "Good morning, my brave girl," Mara whispered, brushing Lila's hair from her forehead. "Are you ready to try again?" Lila rubbed her eyes and nodded slowly. I'll try, Mom." Her voice was soft, but there was determination in it. That tiny spark was all Mara needed to keep going. After breakfast, Mara helped Lila into the new alien-assisted therapy device. It looked strange and unfamiliar, with sleek supports and glowing sensors that hummed gently. Lila sat nervously, gripping the handles. "It's okay, sweetie," Mara said softly. "I'm right here. We will go slowly." The device activated, sending gentle pulses along Lila's legs. The sensations were strange, and Lila flinched slightly at first. Mara held her hand firmly, giving her courage. "Good. That's it." "You're doing amazing," Mara encouraged. Minutes passed, and Lila's legs twitched, then shifted slightly forward. Mara's heart leapt. "Look at that! You moved again! Yes, yes!" she said, her voice trembling with excitement. Lila's face lit up, a small smile breaking through her nervousness. I think I moved more this time," she said. Mara squeezed her daughter's hand. "You did. Every little movement counts. Every step, no matter how small, is a step closer to walking." Just as Lila was gaining confidence, a sudden light appeared at the window. Mara looked up and froze. It was a scout drone from the alien palace. Moments later, a soft communication signal activated, and a calm but commanding voice filled the room. "Mara of the human colony, may we observe today's session?" Mara's eyes widened. The voice belonged to Queen Zarya herself. The queen rarely interfered in human affairs, and her presence was always a sign of importance. Mara hesitated for a moment, but nodded. "Of course, Your Majesty. You may observe." A holographic image shimmered in the middle of the room. Queen Zarya's elegant figure appeared, her regalia flowing around her like a river of light. She observed quietly, her expression calm but intensely focused. Her eyes seemed to search not just for progress in the therapy, but for something deeper, the spirit, determination, and courage of a human mother and daughter. Lila noticed the queen's presence and froze for a moment. "Mom, who is that?" she whispered. "That's Queen Zarya, Lila," Mara replied softly. "She's very important, but don't worry. She's just watching, nothing more. You just focus on yourself." Lila nodded, taking a deep breath. She lifted her legs again, feeling the alien device's gentle pulse. She moved slightly forward, and Mara clapped softly. "Wonderful! That's it, Lila. You're doing it." Queen Zarya leaned closer, her expression shifting subtly. She rarely showed emotion, but in that moment, a flicker of admiration crossed her face. She had seen thousands of medical achievements among her people, but the dedication, love, and resilience of this human mother were unusual. Mara adjusted the device slightly, encouraging Lila to push herself just a little more. "You can do more, sweetie. I know it's hard, but I believe in you," she said, her voice calm but firm. Lila's legs twitched again, a bit stronger this time. Her small movements were becoming more deliberate. Mara's heart pounded with hope. She had seen progress before, but today felt different. Today felt like the turning point. "Good. Very good," Queen Zarya's voice said calmly from the hologram. "Human children are resilient, but this one's spirit is remarkable. You are a worthy example, Mara." Mara's cheeks flushed. Praise from the queen was rare and meaningful. "Thank you, Your Majesty," she replied softly. The session continued for nearly an hour. Lila's movements grew stronger, and she began to understand how to coordinate her legs. Each attempt, each twitch, was met with gentle encouragement from her mother and careful observation from the alien queen. By the afternoon, Mara decided it was time for a small challenge. "Lila, let's try something new," she said. "I'll support you. But I want you to try moving a little on your own." Lila's eyes widened. "On my own?" she asked nervously. "Yes, sweetie," Mara replied gently. "I'll be right here if you need me, but I believe you can do it." Mara positioned herself behind Lila, holding her gently around the waist. Lila gripped the device handles, took a deep breath, and lifted one leg, then the other. She swayed slightly, her balance unsteady, but she stayed upright. Mara's heart soared. "You're doing it! Step by step, sweetie!" Mara cheered. Lila took another small step, then another. Her movements were shaky, but she was moving forward. The room felt charged with energy. Even the hum of the alien device seemed to synchronize with Lila's heartbeat. Queen Zarya watched silently, her eyes widening in awe. She had never seen such determination and courage in a human child. Mara's dedication was extraordinary, but Lila's willingness to fight, to try again and again despite fear, touched the queen in a way that words could not express. As the session ended, Lila collapsed into Mara's arms, exhausted but smiling. "Mom, I did it. I really moved," she said, her voice full of excitement. "Yes, my brave girl," Mara said, holding her tightly. "You did it. You moved more than ever before. I'm so proud of you." Later that evening, Mara reflected on the day. The progress had been incredible, but she knew the journey was far from over. Lila needed strength, confidence, and persistence to walk fully on her own. But Mara also knew something else: human determination, when combined with the wisdom and technology of alien civilizations, could achieve amazing things. A soft communication signal appeared again. Queen Zarya's hologram materialized, her presence calm and composed. "Mara," the queen said, "your dedication is impressive. Your child's spirit is extraordinary. I wish to provide additional resources to assist your efforts. Together, we may achieve what was once thought impossible." Mara felt a surge of gratitude and awe. "Thank you, Your Majesty. That means so much. Lila?" "We have new help," she whispered to her daughter, who looked up with wide eyes. Queen Zarya continued, "This is not just about technology. It is about spirit. Your courage, Mara, and your child's determination inspire even those who are not human. This is the true strength of your kind." Mara bowed her head respectfully. "We will continue, Your Majesty. We will not stop until Lila walks." The queen's image faded, leaving Mara and Lila in the quiet evening light. Mara held her daughter close, feeling a mix of exhaustion and hope. Today had been a breakthrough, not just in movement, but in spirit, courage, and connection between humans and aliens. As night fell, Mara readied the devices for the next session. She carefully documented everything, noting Lila's progress and the effect of each new technique. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but Mara felt ready. She had learned that even small victories were powerful, and that perseverance could inspire respect across the stars. Lila lay in her bed, exhausted but smiling. "Mom, do you think one day I can walk by myself?" she asked softly. Mara kissed her forehead. "Yes, sweetie. I know you will. I've seen your strength. And soon, you will take your first steps without any help. I promise you that." Outside, the alien city shimmered under the twin moons. Somewhere in the palace, Queen Zarya considered what she had witnessed today. Humans were not the most technologically advanced species she had encountered, but they possessed qualities rare in the galaxy: courage, persistence, and the power of love. In the quiet of her private chambers, the queen wondered how far such determination could reach. Back in the human home, Mara whispered a final promise to her daughter. "Tomorrow we will try again. And I know, Lila, You are closer than ever to walking." In that quiet room, filled with hope, courage, and determination, a small human child began a journey that would inspire both her own kind and the most advanced civilizations across the stars. And Mara, her mother, would be there every step of the way, never giving up, never losing hope, and always believing that the impossible could become reality. The morning sun painted the sky in soft gold as Mara gently shook Lila awake. Today felt different, Mara thought, a mix of excitement and quiet tension settling in her chest. Lila's small face peered up at her mother with sleepy eyes that reflected both hope and fear. "Good morning, my brave girl," Mara whispered. "Are you ready for something special today?" Lila rubbed her eyes and nodded slowly. "Mom, do you think today I might take a step by myself?" she asked softly, her voice a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Mara smiled warmly, brushing Lila's hair back. "I believe in you, Lila. Today is another day to try, and I know you can do it. But remember, it's okay if you can't. Every effort counts." After a light breakfast, Mara helped Lila into the therapy device, which now felt familiar to the little girl. The gentle hum of the alien technology filled the room. Mara adjusted the supports carefully, ensuring Lila was comfortable yet secure. Today, Mara planned to challenge her daughter just a little more than before. "You're ready, Lila," Mara said. "I'm right here, but I want you to try standing without holding me. Take it slowly." Lila nodded, gripping the handles of the device tightly. The pulse of the alien technology began to flow through her legs, a gentle rhythm that guided her muscles. She shifted her weight, and for the first time in a long while, she felt a hint of balance on her own. Mara held her breath. "Good, that's it, Lila. You're doing amazing." Step by step, Lila lifted one foot, then the other. She wobbled slightly, and her face scrunched with concentration, but she stayed upright. Mara stayed close, her hands hovering just in case. Every movement, however small, was monumental. "Mom, I'm standing!" Lila exclaimed, her voice trembling with disbelief. "Yes, sweetie, you are!" Mara cheered, her heart swelling with pride and joy. "Now, try to take a small step forward. I know you can do it." Lila took a deep breath. Her small foot moved forward, then the other. She swayed, but she didn't fall. The room seemed to vibrate with excitement, the quiet hum of the alien device blending with Mara's gentle cheers. Just then, a soft glow appeared in the corner of the room. Queen Zaraya had joined the observation once again, her regal presence emanating through a holographic projection. The Queen's eyes widened slightly, her usual calm expression giving way to a hint of astonishment. She rarely witnessed such raw determination and progress. "Mara," the Queen's voice said softly, "the child moves more than expected." "Incredible." Mara glanced at the projection, bowing her head respectfully. "Thank you, Your Majesty. Lila is very brave. She is learning to trust her own strength." Lila, sensing the Queen's attention, paused for a moment. "Mom, she's watching me," she whispered nervously. "Yes, sweetie," Mara replied softly. "But just focus on yourself. You can do this. I'm right here." Encouraged, Lila took another small step, then another. Her movements were shaky but deliberate. Mara felt a rush of emotion, years of struggle, countless nights of worry and hope, and now, finally, she saw the promise of walking realized. Queen Zaraya leaned forward slightly, her holographic figure flickering with attention. She had observed many achievements across countless worlds, but the persistence, love, and courage of a human mother and child had captured her in a way no technological marvel ever could. "Look at her, Mom!" Lila cried. "I'm moving! I'm really moving!" Mara's eyes glistened with tears. "Yes, Lila, you are! Every step is yours! You are so brave!" Minutes passed, each step a monumental victory. Lila gained confidence, her movements becoming slightly smoother. Mara's hands hovered nearby, ready to catch her if she fell. But she didn't. Lila was standing, walking, using her own strength, guided by the device and her unyielding determination. The Queen's voice broke the quiet, soft, but filled with awe. "Mara, your child's spirit is extraordinary. Even my people, advanced as we are, admire determination such as this. You have nurtured greatness." Mara bowed slightly. "Thank you, Your Majesty. We are only beginning, but we will continue until she can walk without any help." Lila beamed, her small chest rising and falling with excitement. "Mom, can I try a few more steps?" "Yes, sweetie. Let's go slowly," Mara said. "Remember, every step counts." With Mara's careful guidance, Lila took more steps across the room. The alien device supported her, but did not control her movements. Each step required balance, strength, and courage. Lila stumbled once, and Mara's hands steadied her immediately. "You're okay," Mara whispered. "Keep going. You're doing wonderfully." As Lila continued, her confidence grew. Her small, careful steps became slightly longer, more deliberate. Mara's heart raced with pride. The room was alive with hope and energy. Every small movement seemed to echo louder than any sound, proof that determination could overcome even the toughest obstacles. Queen Zaria's expression shifted further. Her regal composure gave way to awe. She had seen incredible things, but the combination of human love, persistence, and courage was something rare, even in a galaxy full of wonders. For the first time, the Queen allowed herself a small, symbolic gesture. She dropped a piece of her ceremonial regalia, a subtle but meaningful display of respect. Mara noticed the gesture and froze for a moment, understanding its significance. "Your Majesty, thank you," she said softly. "It means so much." The Queen's hologram nodded. "You have inspired me, Mara. Human determination is a force even advanced civilizations must respect. This child's courage, it is remarkable." Lila, oblivious to the deeper meaning of the Queen's gesture, looked up at her mother with shining eyes. "Mom, did she like what I did?" Mara hugged her tightly. "Yes, sweetie. She's amazed at you, and so am I." The rest of the day continued with small triumphs. Lila learned to take a few more steps without hesitation, guided by her mother and encouraged by the alien device. Every stumble became a lesson, every success a celebration. Mara documented everything meticulously, recording Lila's progress and the effectiveness of each technique. By evening, Lila was exhausted but glowing with pride. She collapsed into her mother's arms, smiling. "Mom, I can really walk. I think I can really walk." "Yes, my brave girl," Mara whispered, tears streaming down her face. "You are walking. Today you've shown that nothing can stop you when you try your best. I'm so proud of you." Later, as the night settled over the colony, Mara prepared the room for rest. Lila lay in bed, staring up at the ceiling with a small, content smile. The gentle hum of the alien device had stopped for the day, leaving the room in calm silence. Mara sat beside her daughter, holding her hand. "Tomorrow we will practice even more," she said softly. "And soon you won't need the device at all. You will walk on your own, Lila. I know it." Lila's eyes grew heavy. I can't wait, Mom," she murmured. "I really want to walk on my own." Mara kissed her forehead. "And you will, my little warrior. Every step you take is proof that human spirit can do extraordinary things." Never forget that. Somewhere in the alien palace, Queen Zaria reflected on what she had witnessed. Mara's dedication, combined with Lila's courage, had achieved something that even her advanced civilization could not have predicted. The Queen realized that human determination, love, and persistence were forces of remarkable power, forces that could inspire awe, even across the stars. As the night deepened, Mara remained beside her daughter, quietly planning the next day's therapy. She knew the path ahead would still be challenging, but she had seen the impossible become possible. And she also knew that Lila's first steps were not just a victory for one child. They were proof that human courage and determination could inspire respect and admiration across worlds. In the quiet of the night, under the glow of twin moons, the bond between mother and daughter grew stronger than ever. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but it would also bring new possibilities. Lila had taken her first steps, and nothing would ever be the same again. And for Mara, the journey was far from over. But with love, patience, and unwavering faith, she knew that her daughter would soon walk on her own, inspiring not only humans, but also those from distant worlds to recognize the strength of the human spirit. The morning sun rose slowly over the colony, spilling golden light into the small home where Mara and Lila lived. Today was different. Mara could feel it in the quiet tension of the air and the determined gleam in her daughter's eyes. After weeks of therapy, countless small steps, and tireless dedication, today was the day Lila might finally walk without any support. "Good morning, my little warrior," Mara whispered, as she gently shook Lila awake. "Are you ready for the next step?" Lila's eyes sparkled. I think so, Mom. I want to try walking by myself today." Mara smiled, brushing her daughter's hair from her forehead. "I know you can do it, Lila. I've seen your strength. We'll go slowly, but I believe in you." After breakfast, Mara helped Lila into the alien-assisted therapy device for one final session before attempting independent steps. The device hummed softly, a comforting presence that had guided Lila through countless practices. But today, Mara had a plan. She wanted Lila to rely more on her own strength than ever before. "You're ready, Lila," Mara said, her voice calm but filled with emotion. "I'll be right here if you need me. But I want you to try standing without holding the device fully. Just trust yourself." Lila's small hands gripped the handles, her heart beating fast. She took a deep breath, feeling the gentle pulse of the device in her legs. Slowly, carefully, she lifted one leg, then the other. She swayed slightly but did not fall. "Good. Very good, Lila," Mara encouraged, her voice trembling with pride. "Now take a step forward, one step at a time. You can do it." Lila's face scrunched with concentration. She lifted her foot and placed it carefully on the mat. Her second foot followed. She wobbled, her balance uncertain, but she stayed upright. Mara held her breath, watching every small movement. "You're walking, Lila! You're really walking!" Mara cheered, tears welling in her eyes. Just then, a familiar holographic glow filled the room. Queen Zaria had joined the observation, her regal figure emanating calm authority. But today, the Queen's expression was different. There was awe, admiration, and a hint of disbelief. "Remarkable," Queen Zaria's voice said softly. "I have observed countless achievements, but this is extraordinary." Mara glanced at the projection, bowing slightly. "Thank you, Your Majesty. Lila is brave. She has worked so hard." Lila looked at the hologram, her small voice trembling with excitement. "Mom, she's watching me walk." "Yes, sweetie," Mara said softly. "Just focus on yourself. You are doing this for you, not for anyone else." With Mara's gentle encouragement, Lila took another step. Then another. Her confidence grew with each movement. The alien device provided minimal support now, merely monitoring and guiding rather than carrying her weight. Lila was walking with her own strength. Queen Zaria's eyes widened, her usually composed expression giving way to wonder. The Queen had witnessed the most advanced technologies, the greatest accomplishments, and the rarest skills across countless worlds. But the determination of a human child, guided by the love and persistence of her mother, inspired awe even in her experienced mind. Lila's steps became longer and steadier. She took a small stumble, but Mara was ready, her hands supporting lightly without touching too much. "You're okay, Lila. Keep going. You can do this." A wave of emotion passed through Lila. She lifted her chin, took another step, and then another. For the first time, she realized she could do it. She could walk on her own. The feeling was exhilarating, freeing and terrifying all at once. Queen Zarya, observing silently, reached a decision in that quiet moment. She removed a part of her ceremonial regalia, a rare and symbolic gesture among her people, and let it float gently in the holographic light. Even her most trusted advisors had never witnessed such a display of respect. Mara understood immediately. The queen was honoring human courage, determination, and spirit. "Mom, look!" Lila shouted, taking several steps unassisted. "I'm walking." "Yes, sweetie, you are. You are walking," Mara cried, hugging her tightly. "All your hard work, all your courage, it has paid off." The queen's voice filled the room again, soft and full of admiration. "Mara, your child's determination surpasses expectations. The human spirit is a force even advanced civilizations must respect. You have nurtured greatness here." Mara's eyes glistened. "Thank you, Your Majesty. Lila's courage comes from within, and I only guided her. But your respect means more than words can say." Lila's face glowed with pride. She had done something she thought was impossible. Her legs, once weak and unsteady, now carried her with determination. Every step was proof that persistence, love, and courage could overcome the greatest obstacles. By midday, Lila was walking across the room without any support. Mara followed closely, ready to assist if necessary, but letting her daughter rely on her own strength. Each step grew more confident, each movement more deliberate. The room seemed alive with energy, the quiet hum of the alien device fading into the background as Lila's own determination became the guiding force. Queen Zarya's expression softened further, her eyes reflecting admiration and something else, hope. Perhaps she realized that human courage, persistence, and love could teach even the most advanced civilizations about strength that technology alone could not provide. Mara documented everything meticulously, recording each step, each improvement, and the emotional growth that accompanied the physical progress. This was not just a medical breakthrough, it was a testament to the power of human spirit. By evening, Lila walked confidently across the room, smiling widely. "Mom, I did it! I really did it!" she said, laughing with joy. "Yes, my brave girl," Mara said, tears streaming down her face. "You walked. You have achieved what we dreamed of. I'm so proud of you." Queen Zarya's hologram remained silent for a moment before speaking. "Today, you have shown that determination, courage, and love are as powerful as any technology or magic in the galaxy. You have inspired me, Mara, and all who observe. This day will be remembered." Mara bowed slightly, humbled. "Thank you, Your Majesty. Lila has worked so hard. Her spirit is what carried her." The Queen's hologram faded slowly, leaving Mara and Lila in the quiet glow of the setting suns. Mara hugged her daughter tightly, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment. They had worked together, endured countless challenges, and now the impossible had become reality. Lila sat on the mat, catching her breath, her small hands gripping her mother's. "Mom, will I keep getting stronger?" she asked. "Yes, sweetie. Every day you will grow stronger. Every step you take will become easier. Soon, you will walk anywhere you want." "Without any help at all," Mara replied gently. The next few days were filled with practice. Lila walked across the room, through the house, and eventually outside. Each day brought more confidence, more balance, and more independence. Mara guided her gently, offering encouragement but allowing her to rely on her own strength. The colony watched with admiration. Humans had achieved something remarkable, not only overcoming a physical challenge but also inspiring an alien civilization to recognize the power of determination and courage. Queen Zarya herself visited the colony briefly, offering her resources and expertise, but also showing respect and humility. She had witnessed the extraordinary, a human child walking through sheer determination, guided by love and patience. One evening, Mara and Lila sat outside, watching the twin moons rise. Lila's small hands rested in her mother's, and her legs, once weak and paralyzed, now carried her confidently across the ground. "Mom, I can't believe I walked," Lila said softly, her eyes reflecting the moonlight. "I never thought it was possible." Mara smiled, holding her close. "It was always possible, Lila. You just had to believe in yourself, and I always believed in you. You did it because of your courage and determination." Lila hugged her mother tightly. "I couldn't have done it without you." Mara kissed her forehead. "And I couldn't have done it without you, my little warrior. You have shown the galaxy what humans can do when we never give up. Today, your steps are not just your own. They are a symbol of hope, courage, and determination for everyone." Somewhere in the distant palace, Queen Zarya reflected on the events she had witnessed. Humans, fragile as they might seem, possessed qualities rare even in her advanced civilization. Determination, love, courage. These forces could move worlds and inspire awe. Today, a small human child had shown the galaxy the strength of the human spirit. Back on the colony, Mara and Lila watched the moons, their hearts full of hope. The journey was far from over, but the impossible had already been achieved. Lila could walk, she could explore, grow, and live with independence. And Mara, her mother, had guided her with unwavering love, patience, and faith. In that quiet moment, the future felt bright. For Lila, for Mara, and for humanity, the journey had only begun, but it would be filled with courage, hope, and the extraordinary power of determination. And so, under the twin moons of a distant world, a mother and her daughter stood together, walking into a future filled with possibility, proof that the human spirit could inspire awe even across the stars.